I think I'm live. Start. Here we go. I think I'm live on all sorts of places. Okay, let me see. I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on Instagram and I'm live on Facebook and LinkedIn. And this week I'm trying, hey, Paula, hello, being live on YouTube instead of Twitter. We'll see how that goes. Oops, it's a little close. Alrighty, so welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for watching. If you're on live, say hello. If you're watching the replay, also say hello. Maybe tell me if you're on the replay, hashtag replay. And if you're live, just say hello now. I would love that. So I wasn't going to do a broadcast this week. Hello. And I wasn't going to do a broadcast this week because it's the holidays. But this is like the only Sunday night of the entire month of holidays that I can do it. So I am just going to do that today. And the other thing is that I had an interesting conversation on Facebook on Friday, which I thought, okay, I really need to talk to some people about that because it's the time of year for doing better. I mean, I'm reading this book by listen to me, Rabbi Daniel Ruttenberg, and it looks like on TikTok it's the wrong way around. My apologies. I don't know how to switch that. If you do know how to switch that, especially while this is going, please tell me. That's the same on TikTok. It's also reversed. Oh, well, it's how it is. But anyway, this book is called On Repentance and Repair, and it's by Rabbi Daniel Ruttenberg, and it's basically about how we make things better, how we do better, if you will. So, as I said to my friend Andrea, I hope will be on this broadcast at some point. As I said to my friend Andrea, when else do I get to quote Maya Angelou and Maimonides in the same broadcast? I ask you. Okay, I've got two devices here, and somehow I'm not getting quite in the middle there, but hey, this is the first time I'm doing it like this, so I'm going to cut myself some slack because you know what? Being kind to yourself is an important part of doing better, for sure. So anyway, I want to tell you a little story about what happened on Friday. Hello, Zoe. So a little story about what happened on Friday. This is not going to be a super long broadcast, just so you know. But so I posted a picture of myself. Let me step back. I am the Torah reader for my congregation. It's a huge privilege. And so we did the readings for Rosh Hashanah on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Friday morning I went in to just shift the Torahs around so that the one for the reading for Shabbat would be ready. And I was wearing my mask. As it happens, the synagogue actually requires masks, but even if it hadn't, I would be wearing one because I do wear an N95 or KN95, depending what I've got to hand, a mask in indoor public places. I don't wear it in my house. Here I'm in my office. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not crazy. But when I do go to indoor public places where other people might be, then I will wear a mask. And I took a selfie because I was just so grateful after the last 2.5 years that we've had with everything being open and closed and not allowed to have people in person. And, we've been streaming, but I mean, that's just not the same. I mean, it's great for people who otherwise couldn't come at all, but it's still not the same. So anyway, so I was in the synagogue and I had done my Torah juggling, and just before I left, I took a picture, as one does, a selfie, and I posted it to my social media saying, so grateful that I'm able to be here in person and I think I just said something about to get the Torahs ready for their next adventure or something silly like that. And a friend of mine, who just happens to live in Alberta, but that might be a coincidence, said, "Why are you masked?" Or "Why are you still masking?" or something like that. And it's interesting, I only gave her one answer. And to be fair, there's really two answers. And one of them is, and I didn't give her this answer, but I really should have, but maybe I'll go back and do it. I had COVID in the early August, and I never, ever want to get it again. It was not fun. It's been 2 months, and I might be recovered now. I don't know. I went to the gym on Thursday and actually was sore for the first time since coming back to the gym after being sick. So that just tells you how gentle I've had to be with myself in the gym, not to get, they call it post exertion symptom exacerbation. Who comes up with these names? Post exertion symptom exacerbation. That basically, if you've had COVID and you overdo it, you are not going to. You're going to set yourself back. Oh, and thank you for the hearts. Yeah, very much appreciate that. I love hearts. So please, if you have hearts that you want to give me, I would love it. Thank you. Anyway, that that aside. So where was I? Anyway, so the first reason that I mask in no, where am I? Indoor public places is that, like I said, I do not want to get COVID again, and my husband is older and he had it quite bad. We all had it, the entire family. It was terrible, and so I really don't want to get it, and I don't want to bring it. But the other thing is just in general, when I go to the store, when I go to the pharmacy, when I go to places, and I do eat in restaurants, and I try to sit, a little further away, I talk to a lot of people who are vulnerable. I have a lot of friends who have medical issues, who are vulnerable, and some of them, if they get it, they will die, even the so-called milder thing. And I'm seeing all the long COVID stuff. And, I know a lot of people who have had some sort of post-viral stuff already. And it's already not fun, and it's already not easy to get the kind of care that you need. So what I said to this person who asked me why I was still masking, because apparently it's a problem, they asked me why I was still masking, and I said, because I care about vulnerable people. And then another person who is a friend of mine, and I do love her dearly, but anyway, that's a different story. I haven't seen her in a while. Launched into a whole thing about how my smile was so wonderful for people and blah, 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 blah. And you know what? I think people would rather see me smile just with my eyes, because you know what? You can tell when somebody who's wearing a mask is smiling if you actually pay attention. And then me give them COVID. Or to be fair, any other disease. I mean, for years, people in Asia and other places have masked up during, say, cold and flu season and on public transport and places like that, because it was just common courtesy, and I think we should do that too. But anyway, so that story, which got much longer than it needed to be, was the reason why I decided to do this broadcast, because it really brought to my mind the whole issue about doing better. So we are in the time between the Jewish New Year and the Day of Repentance, so between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And during these 10 days is when the time when we're supposed to get right with other people, and right with ourselves, and right with the divine, however you want to call that. People have different names for whatever it is that's, out there, our creator, whatever you want to call it. But in our tradition, during this is the time of year when decisions are made as to what the rest of our year is going to be like. There's all sorts of very dramatic medieval poetry in our liturgy, some of which I'm not crazy about. Talking about who will live and who will die, and the famous I'm going to say Tom Lehrer, Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen song, and Who by Fire. He's talking about that. And we don't know what the year is going to bring. And so we hope for the best. And it's a good thing to get, to do what they call cheshbon nefesh, the accounting of the soul, and to really find out for yourself. Just think about, make an accounting of your past year, what you've done, what you were doing, um, what harm you may have done, and what you can do to fix it. And also, if people have harmed you, that's also something to think about. And in this book, Rabbi Ruttenberg talks about how in North American society, she's mostly talking about the United States because she's an American, it's what she knows, fair enough. But Canada is not that different. There's this big emphasis on forgiveness. And it puts all the emotional work really on the person who has been harmed. Hello, yes, TikTok talk. I too wear a mask in stores. The COVID is still active and hospitals are full of patients. Yes, they are. So I'm glad I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Whenever I go places, I can see I'm not alone. But there were more when there was a mandate. Let's put it this way. The university that my kid goes to, like they had a mask mandate up until August, and now they've removed it. And I worry. My kid is wearing their mask, but one-way masking is not as effective as when everybody's masked. But anyway, talking about making amends and forgiveness. In Jewish tradition, you are not obligated to forgive. It's not, they don't put the onus on the person who has been harmed to forgive. So that's one thing. You can, though. But the important thing is that the person who has done the harm needs to do the work to do better. And that's where Maya Angelou comes into it, that very famous quote from her, do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. And I think that's really, really important, because one of the things that the people who were asking me about the mask said was, so, because I said I care about vulnerable people, and the person responded with, did you care about vulnerable people? Blah, can't speak. Did you care about vulnerable people 10 years ago? And the answer is, I didn't know to think about it. Mea culpa. It's definitely a thing to bring into my reckoning of the soul, the accounting of the soul, because I never thought about it before, and that's very ableist. One thing I've been learning about is ableism, because I've just been hanging out in different online places these days, and I hear people talk about ableism. By the way, do you like my shirt? It says, I don't know if you can see it in all the places, it says, trans kids are wonderful. So I've been hanging out in all sorts of places where there are trans kids, where there are trans adults, where there are people with chronic illness, with disabilities, and I have been learning a lot. And it's been really, really helpful for me to learn about not being so ableist. And there seems to be a eugenics project going on in the West right now, which is really, really scary. We talk about respect for elders, respect for people. Who was it that, I forget who it was that said that a society is judged by how it treats its most vulnerable members. I should have looked that up. I don't remember who said that. If anybody knows who said that, please drop a comment and tell me who said that, because now it's going to drive me crazy. Of course, I can look it up later. The internet is amazing, isn't it? So it's important to do better. And the only way to do better is to learn. First of all, to understand where we've been doing harm. Yeah, maybe if I had known, if I had thought about it, if I hadn't been part of the ableist paradigm, maybe I would have been masking 10 years ago. Who knows? Like I said, people in Southeast Asia have been masking during cold and flu season always, and colds and flu don't kill people like COVID does. So it's been a hard lesson for us, and we've lost people that we love, and it's it was just recently, there were all the things for 9/11 and so on in the United States. And some people were pointing out that COVID deaths have basically been a 9/11 every week, and people are just numb. And yeah, so this is kind of a combination, if you will, because talking about doing better, thinking about how we could make ourselves better in the coming year, and also just the whole idea that we can inconvenience ourselves to take care of the most vulnerable around us, because the cult of individualism, rugged individualism, has become really, really pernicious, if you will. If you look at, again, if you want to judge a society by how it treats its most vulnerable members, if we're allowing them to die because we can't be bothered to put a piece of paper across our face, then we really need to do some accounting of the soul and ask ourselves what we think about this. So anyway, I've been talking for a bit now. As I said, I didn't want this to be a super long broadcast, but I would love to know what you think. I would love to see your comments. I would like to see your messages. Like I said, the next couple of weeks I won't be doing these broadcasts because it's the holidays. Next week is Sukkot, and then the week after that is Shmini Atzeret and the Simchat Torah. We'll get to dance with the Torah, as I hope. Who knows what the synagogue will decide is safe for us to do, but we are all masking in there, thankfully. But well, I don't know what that was on TikTok. It's complicated to go live in different places at the same time. Somebody said to me that I shouldn't do it because I get all squirrely, but you know what? I'm going to be squirrely regardless, so I might as well have fun. So I hope this was somewhat helpful, gave you something to think about. I would love to know what you think about this whole concept of doing better, of doing an accounting of the soul, whether this is something that you do this time of year or another time. And turn off invites for this live video. I can do that. Whoop. All right. Sorry, guys. This is very complicated. I'm learning how to do this. So, yeah. So please drop me a message. Let me know what you think of all this. And like I said, I will not be doing this the next couple of weeks. But then on October, it's October 23rd. Just look at my calendar here. October 23rd, I will, at this time, 7:30 on Central Daylight Time, whatever that is, wherever you are. Then I'll be back here, and I will look forward to chatting with you again. And probably won't be quite that heavy a topic, but it was just on my heart after that conversation on Friday. I really needed to come out here and have a bit of a talk with you, my beautiful person. So you have a great evening. And if you are observing Yom Kippur later this week, I will wish you an easy and meaningful fast. And if not, I'm just going to wish you a great week and talk to you again soon. I'll get to figure out how to turn all these things off. Love you. Bye-bye. Let me see. And